So why do we want to take a developmental approach to understanding neural networks?
So I think there are two main motivations. So first comes from developmental biology, right? Which suggests that sometimes understanding the changes is easier than understanding a single snapshot. Right? You have tens of trillions of cells in your body, maybe hundreds of trillions, but they belong to a set of very simple cell types. Only a few dozen, I think, maybe a few hundred. So if you're trying to differentiate cells, then a very useful thing is to think of this cell as identified with a particular history of developmental stages that give rise to it. And so understanding those changes amounts to understanding the cell you have. And comparing two different cells amounts to saying, hey, look, they are the same up to this particular developmental stage, and then they differ in just this one change after it. But other than that, they're the same structurally. So understanding changes here and integrating over those changes gives you a sufficient understanding in many cases of the final thing. So it's just a useful, simplifying approach to trying to find structure. And the other reason to study developmental interpretability is because singular learning theory makes a very precise prediction about what learning looks like. SLT predicts that learning consists of these phase transitions, so these discrete stages. And the hope there is that these transitions, these stages, might themselves be interpretable. Right? So interpret the change, not the snapshot.
How do these phase transitions in neural networks contribute to our understanding of AI development and learning processes and potentially lead to unexpected behavior?
Well, yeah, when I said that neural networks learn algorithms, it's kind of surprising, right? Because algorithms are this discrete thing. The structure you have there, like if statements, for loops, other kinds of these algorithmic primitives, is somehow discrete. But the neural network is a continuous thing, right? You have this smooth loss landscape, these billowing fields, and you somehow have to square this circle. What's going on there? So the important thing is that if you end up with an algorithm and you start out with nothing, the process to get from nothing to the algorithm is going to be discrete and chunky. Right? You build up a structure one piece at a time, and those pieces don't form continuously. So the phase transition is this sort of unit of construction where it's telling you that there's a qualitative change taking place. You're layering on a new piece to this algorithm, building up the structure piece by piece. So that's why it's important. It's because neural networks develop these algorithms. How do you get from nothing to algorithms? Through a series of discrete changes. And those discrete changes are phase transitions as predicted by SLT.
Nice. So it's sort of like a punctuated equilibria in evolution. Yeah.
And I think this is actually a very relevant example, and maybe even some of the same underlying theory explains what's going on here. I think what I should explain is that when you think of punctuated equilibria, when you think of phase transitions, usually it suggests something very sudden, right? Like I change the temperature and all of a sudden my water cools and forms a solid. It forms ice. In practice, when you're training neural networks, these changes don't have to be that sudden.